What is the future of college athletics? And I'm not just talking about Division 1. Division 2, Division 3, JUCO, etc. And if you say that nobody else with Division 1 matters, you're wrong. I'm going to talk about that right now. So, I found an article from the marketplace back in October. This person named Andy Eubler, I think his last name is, posted on here for the morning report. And basically, okay, you need money to survive. I mean, that's any business. College athletics, even though it's not technically a business, yes and no. For the athletic department, yes. So many budgets are having to be cut. A lot of college teams are not playing. Lower D1, some lower D1, all of D2 from what I am aware of. D3, I don't know what all they're doing. JUCO schools. What's happening with all these budget cuts during this pandemic ordeal? So Stanford said that the summer that they would discontinue 11 varsity sports. To me, that is mind-blowing because you have to think about, you don't just have football or basketball. You have all these other sports too, and you have all these athletes who are coming up, who get scholarships, and who wants to play their way through school, pretty much. So, I mean, what is it going to take for these athletic departments to get back to the way they were? Some of them are already struggling to begin with. So, money-wise, I mean. So, yeah, what's going to happen? Now, the University of Iowa cut men's and women's tennis teams, which is sad. Men's tennis is no longer at 12 Division I schools, and men's track is gone at 9. So, I mean, hello, people. What's going to happen? Like, all these student athletes who have worked so hard growing up, going through high school, and working to get a scholarship through school, and wanting to play college, and maybe they want to go pro or whatever, they can't do that now. Like, you still want to have fun even though you're in college. You still want to be an athlete. Why is all this being ripped away? Because of budgets. What can we do for that? What can we do to help these schools to create a better budget, to create to get these teams back together, to get these sports back? And departments are also dealing pay cuts, furloughs, and layoffs. The athletics department at the University of Texas at Austin generated a record $224 million last fiscal year, more than any other college or university. Almost all of that money came from ticket sales, concessions, and TV contracts associated with football and men's basketball. But not all these sports are lucky. And a lot of these sports pull money from, like, football or whatever, because that's what the athletic department has to do. More than likely. I know with, like, Division 2, I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I know high school, that's how it is. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure they're all the same for the most part. So, those revenue streams are huge. And who teaches at Southern Utah University? Sorry, I blinked out for a second. So, Burry said yes, that football and basketball help pays for lacrosse, gymnastics, and tennis, but for the most part, football and basketball revenues go to football and basketball. So they primarily go in the pockets of coaches, administrators, and then to facilities, he said. Home football crowds, which, that's always what it has been. Lower sports puts on the backboard, that gets put back on the back burner, sorry. So now University of Texas Athletics Department is having to trim back. It laid off 35 people and said another 35 vacant positions will be eliminated. How sad is that? People's losing jobs because of this. Even the football coach is taking a 15% pay cut, which, I mean, it's already getting paid a decent amount, but still, Texas cut about 6% from its sports programs. So that's about the same percentage as Ryan Ivey had to cut from his athletic department at Stephen F. Austin State University in East Texas, but his books look a little different. Yeah, so our total budget right now, is right at $16 million, he said. Or Ivey said. He hasn't laid off or furloughed anybody yet, but he can't fill open positions. So those are positions that somebody could use a job for. And so essentially, if we want those positions, we have to buy them back in some form of fashion. So we have to figure out the budget aspect for that to move forward. So yeah, all of Stephen F. Austin's fall conference football games were postponed until spring, but Ivy found out that found out of conference schools to play that's generating some helpful income across the country. Other colleges and universities are doing the same thing, trying to protect their budgets. So it's a fighting race to protect your budget at this moment in time. So yeah, this is really, really sad. What else is going to happen? Don't know. That could put student athletes in harm's way. Director of the Center of Sports Communications and Media at the University of Texas. There are a lot of institutions that appear to be making decisions specifically by money, Butterworth said. And when you're counterbalancing that with the public health risk and the risk to athletes who are shouldering that risk and that burden, that's really uncomfortable. He said if the spike in infections could be tied back to the athletic event, there could be legal implications for universities, and that's something that every university has to take into consideration as well. And it's sad, honestly. So what's going to come out for the future of college athletics? If Division I schools are struggling, Division II and Division III JUCO schools, what are they having to go through right now? What can they do in order to put, make sure they're not going to have any legal implications on them or anything like that? What's going to happen? What can we do? As fans, as a society, universities, what can they do? It's like a big community on universities. What can they all do? Can there be a live stream where somebody has to pay for it? Like fans go in, they pay almost like a normal amount going into a actual game, a legit game or whatever. Can it be, let's just say, you're paying $3 to watch live stream? Yeah, I mean, you're watching it from home, but you're also helping athletes. I saw one college, and I can't think of where it's at now. They were doing that. They were doing something like that where you had to pay like $10 to watch like a live stream or something like that. But it was going toward the athletic department to help. Or it was going to something that the college or that the university was actually doing. And I wish I could remember it now. Because it was a neat little ordeal that they were doing. And I thought that was a really good strategy, good marketing strategy to try to get some sort of income coming in for the university. The athletic department. Because these athletic departments are hurting. I know a lot of Division II schools are hurting. So, yeah, I mean, what do? I'm in a town with two Division II universities, and they're struggling. One definitely is struggling big time, even before all this. So, what's going to happen now? What do you guys think? Please let me know down below in the comments. I'm going to try to do another podcast on this, too, eventually, if some more comes out about it, because this is really interesting to me, and you guys should be interested in it, too, just because what's going to happen with college athletics. I mean, I grew up watching college sports, college football, basketball, baseball, name it. Yeah, so it's sad to see all this going on. So what can we do as a fan base? And if you're working in a college, what can we do? What can we do to help these students out, these student athletes out, to keep their sports in play, Who knows, right? Let's see what's going to happen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys.